Hello. It has been a while, and I just wanted to pop in and say hi. And show I'm doing well. As you can see, I'm trying to grow my hair out. It's taken a while, but you know, it is what it is. Um, I didn't really have a plan for this video. Honestly, I just wanted to talk and upload just a little bit. Uh, there's a lot of very bad things happening uh, in America right now, unfortunately. Um, but I'm hoping that things will get better, things will resolve. Uh, Now, was this to be expected? Yeah, it kind of was. America what is it? An empire falls after, is it 25 years? Or not 25 years. uh, like 125 or something like that. Empires fall every so often, and we reached ours. I think 2 years ago. So we were long overdue for this kind of. It's not a collapse yet. Hopefully, I'm hoping that everything will get resolved without mass bloodshed and war. And for people who are outside of America, it's I am aware that Americans have guns, and there is this kind of fantasy surrounding what people outside of America think America or Americans are like. Uh, we can be really gung ho, but unfortunately, the whole what I keep seeing is people saying like we should be storming the Capitol and things like that, and comparing what's happening in our country to things that have happened in like France and other countries who have stood up for themselves, the people who have stood up for themselves against their government, regime, tyranny, whatever, and I get it. The problem is, the problem is it sounds easy enough. It does. But the thing is, how do I put this? I'm going to use France for an example. France will stand up to their government quite often. Like, not a whole lot often, but, often enough that the people are comfortable enough to do it. You know, uh, you got kids who grew up watching, adults stand up for their government, and so they're raised to think I can do that too. So they grow up to become adults who can also stand up against their government. It's not like that in America. We, the youth, are not taught that if your government is doing something bad, that you should stand up to them. The only way I can explain it is like Christianity. In Christianity, there's the almighty, all-knowing God, and you are not to question, revolt, anything against that God. And that's the only way I can describe like American citizens versus the American government. Um, like a lot of Americans nowadays don't know that you're supposed to overthrow your government if they're doing something against the people. A lot of people don't know that now, and that is a case of you know the education system not being supported and thriving in America, it being just whatever it is, of history being twisted up into something it's not, of history being erased, of being like out of like it's tough. It is tough, and I get where other people outside of America are coming from, because it would be easy. There are so many of us. Our country is so big that we could easily overrun. But a lot of us weren't weren't raised to watch that, weren't raised in a way that's encouraged, weren't raised like weren't raised a lot of us weren't raised around guns or how to handle firearms or such and such. I myself was not raised around firearms. Like, my grandpa had one that he never used, and it was a decorative item in the house. It was more of a if I need it, I need it type of situation. And the only time I've ever been exposed to hunting was my uncle. And even then, I was not with him for the hunt. I was around when he came home from the hunt with his firearm and a deer. Like, so that is it. A lot of us just don't have that kind of experience. Some of us do, some of us don't. It's hard. It's tough. A lot of us are not willing to put our lives on the line. A lot of us do not want to die. And that is why we're peacefully protesting. We're trying to make a point without putting ourselves and more people in danger. You know, there's only so much we can do without getting ourselves and our loved ones and innocent people killed. It's I could keep saying it. It's tough. It's a hard situation. Yeah. I think it's made even harder by the fact that, there's still a lot of people. Not a lot, but there's still quite a few people who are out there supporting our demonic president, is the best way I can explain. I don't. Obviously, I'm very much a person. I was raised to love thy neighbor and to be kind and to help people. I love having all kinds of people in my country. I just, and it's hard on me because I don't understand the people who are in support of the president. How can you be okay with raping and the murder of kids and young girls and teenagers? How can you be okay with that? How can that not upset you? How can you be okay with treating another person like dirt just because they are not the same skin tone as you? I just don't understand. And the only thing I could think of is what it is it's called scientific racism or something like that, where if you're white people have bigger brains because of the shape of our skull or the shape or the face, our facial structure indicates intelligence or whatever, and that's bullshit. That is complete and utterly bullshit. Because if that were the case, a lot of our smartest people would be white. But guess what? A lot of our smartest people are Asian, are Middle Eastern, are African, There's a kid in Africa who's a high school dropout who managed to create power for his town using wind, and that's awesome. When there's something wrong with our PC or our technology, who do we call? A lot of times we're speaking to an Indian man, or someone of Asian culture. Like, that's not to say that white people are less intelligent. I'm just saying that there is no one race is more intelligent than the other. One race is more supreme than the other. We are just here, and it saddens me. I am frustrated. I am sad. I am, because there's not a lot I can do. We can make calls to our representatives. We can call, Washington or the Senate, or we can do all this, and a lot of us have, and just there's nothing. We're doing our best, and I know that our best does not seem like it's doing anything to people on the outside. And I want to say this for those outside of America who are lumping all Americans in with this bullshit and blaming all of us as a whole for this. That is not cool. That's not cool at all. Because a lot of us did not vote for this, did not want this. The election was very clearly fucking rigged. Like, he would have lost. I think for sure he would have fucking lost if he didn't have Elon's pockets to be dipping into and Elon's control over technology. I know that sounds paranoid and whatever, but that is the world we're living in. That is the world we're living in, where technology has gotten to a point where, that can happen. And these billionaires are corrupt and evil. But it is unfair to lump all Americans in with this situation and put the blame on all of us when a lot of us did not want this. A lot of us have been shouting from the rooftops ever since the first time he got elected that this is a bad man. This is a bad idea. He is not fit. He is a bad politician. He's a bad person. And so I just would like to implore people outside of America to show a little empathy, I guess, with those of us who are stuck. And a lot of you might think, like, well, you're not going to be affected, you're white. But I can be affected. It doesn't have to affect me for me to be bothered. I worry for my coworkers, my Hispanic coworkers. I worry for them. I worry for, the homeless. I worry for people who are in church. I worry for people who are in schools and stores, because at any moment, they could be snatched up. And I don't want that for anybody. I'm the type of person that I want good things for people. I want people to be able to buy a house and have a family if they so choose. I want them to be able to live carefree and happy. I want them to be respected. And the biggest issue is I keep forgetting that us as humans have not been around that long. We have not been around nearly long enough, which is a shame, because I'm really in this mindset that, like, why are y'all like this? Why? And it And then I have to stop and be like, right, we haven't been here that long. I think, humans have been around, is it 15,000 or 115,000 years? That is not very long in the grand scheme of how long the Earth has been here. How long animals have been here, how long plant life has been here, how long sea life has been here. You know, octopi and conches and all kinds of sea life has been here way, way longer than we have. You know, we are sorely, what's the word? Sorely under-evolved, I think, is what I'm looking for. And yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that and put my 2 cents out there and what have you, and take it as you will. But that's it. That's it. So thanks for listening. Thanks for hearing my 2 cents. And as an American, I'm stuck. I'm sorry, and whatever happens, and I can only hope that if it comes to a point where, you know, Americans have to start fleeing the country for whatever reason. That's another thing is I know there are many of us, but if we attack first, even if we don't attack first, we do not stand a chance against the military. We don't stand a chance. The only way we would stand a chance is if our military has the balls big enough to, to desert their squad or a platoon or a post. You know, if Donald Trump is like, sends his martial law and sends the military after us, if our soldiers don't think and stop and think for themselves for 2 seconds and realize that what they're doing is not okay, then we're really screwed. We are really fucking screwed. And it's not guaranteed. This is a 50-50 50% chance our soldiers will turn and be on our side and help. 50% chance they'll do what they fucking say and not think twice. So, but again, thank you for listening, and you know, I'm still around and doing my best. You know, I'm living, I'm surviving, I'm trying to do what I can with what I got. Whether it be giving money to people, donating to Ukraine, Palestine, the Congo, you know, wherever places need it. Giving out food if I can, you know. But and for anyone watching who is protesting or, you know, what have you, please be careful. They're tear gassing kids and old people. They don't care. Just be careful, be safe, and don't stop what you're doing, because the peaceful protests, you are brave for being out there. And I protest as well. I write things on my van, so when I drive around, people see, you know, fuck ICE. I put, even though I'm not religious, I put Bible scriptures I'll paint Bible scriptures on my van. I'll words of ex-presidents that are really inspiring and hopeful. I'm doing what I can as well for someone stuck in Oklahoma, which is, if you don't know, I think we are 49th in least educated. What I mean is, like, I think we are the least educated state above, I think, Alabama. So I'm really stuck in a state that there's no brain cells really left. It's the gene pool in Oklahoma is pretty run up and dry. So, but all right, I'll let you guys go. If you stuck around this long, thanks. I appreciate it. Be safe. Help each other out. It's all we can do as human beings is just band together and put aside our differences, because those differences do not fucking matter. Unless they're hurting somebody. But the minute differences, skin color, culture, whatever, just be respectful. Just listen. Just be respectful. Ask questions. Learn about your fellow people. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to learn about other people's cultures. Why do you do this? Why do you dress like that? Why do you eat this? Why do you celebrate this? It's nice. It's nice to learn about other people. And, stop focusing on yourself. Not everything is about you. I think that's probably a big issue in America. America is a big narcissistic country. There's a lot of narcissism, and it's not okay. So, thank you. I love you guys. Be safe. And I'll see you sometime. Hopefully soon. If I want to. But